Hi Marcela, it's me, your favorite 50 Shades of Grey reading partner. I'm going to read to you chapter 6 from book 2. It does begin with a sex scene, like I said, but it's not that exciting of one. So I'm just going to read it straight, maybe a little bit of feeling. But I am, however, going to turn around my chair in case I make all kinds of faces. In case you're watching this, I don't want to crack you up. And plus, given the nature of the content, I feel more comfortable turning around. After that, I'll turn back around. Okay, so here we go. 50 Shades of Grey, Book 2, Chapter 6. My hands fist in his hair while my mouth is feverish against Christian's, consuming him, relishing the feel of his tongue against mine. And he's the same, devouring me. It's heavenly. Suddenly, he drags me up and grasps the hem of my t-shirt, whipping it over my head and throwing it on the floor. I want to feel you, he says greedily against my mouth as his hands move behind me to undo my bra. In one smooth move, it's off, and he pitches it aside. He pushes me back down into the bed, pressing me into the mattress, and his mouth and hand move to my breast. My fingers curl into his hair as he takes one of my nipples between his lips and tugs hard. I cry out as the sensation sweeps through my body, spikes, and tightens all the muscles around my groin. Yes, baby, let me hear you, he murmurs against my overheated skin. Boy, I want him inside me now. With his mouth, he toys with my nipples, pulling at it, making me squirm and writhe and yearn for him. I sense his longing mixed with what? Veneration? Is he worshiping me? He teases me with his fingers, my nipple growing hard and elongating under his skillful touch. His hand moves to my jeans, and he deftly undoes the button, tugs the zipper down, and slips his hand inside my panties, sliding his fingers against my sex. His breath hisses out as his finger glides into me. I push my pelvis up with the heel of his hand, and he responds, rubbing against me. Oh, baby, he breathes as he hovers over me, staring intently into my eyes. You're so wet. His voice is filled with wonder. I want you, I murmur. His mouth joins with mine again, and I feel his hungry desperation, his need for me. This is new. It's never been like this, except perhaps when I came back from Georgia. And his words from earlier drift back to me. I need to know we're okay. This is the only way I know how. The thought unravels me, to know that I have such an effect on him, that I can offer him solace doing this. He sits up, grasps the hem of my jeans, and tugs them off, followed by my panties. Keeping his eyes fixed on mine, he stands, takes a foil packet out of his pocket, and tosses it at me, then removes his jeans and boxers in one swift motion. I rip the packet open greedily, and then he lies beside me again. I slowly roll the condom onto him. He grabs he grabs both my hands and rolls onto his back. You, on top, he orders, pulling me astride. I want to see you. Oh. He guides me, and hesitantly I ease myself down onto him. He closes his eyes and flexes his hips to meet mine, filling me, stretching me, his mouth forming a perfect O as he exhales. Oh, that feels good, so good, possessing him, possessing me. He holds my hands, and I don't know if it's to steady me or to keep me from touching him, even though I have my roadmap. You feel so good, he murmurs. I rise again, heavy with the power I have over him, watching Christian Grey slowly coming apart beneath me. He lets go of my hands and grabs my hips, and I place my hands on his arms. He thrusts into me sharply, causing me to cry out. That's right, baby, feel me, he says, his voice strained. I tip my head back and do exactly that. This is what he does so well. I move, countering his rhythm in perfect symmetry, numbing all thought and reason. I am just sensation, lost in the void of pleasure, up and down, again and again. Oh, yes. Opening my eyes, I stare down at him, my breathing ragged, and he's staring back at me, eyes blazing. My Anna, he mouths. Yes, I rasp, always. He groans loudly, closing his eyes again, tipping his head back. Seeing Christian undone is enough to seal my fate, and I come audibly, exhaustingly, spinning down and around, collapsing on top of him. Oh, baby, he groans as he finds his release, holding me still and letting me go. His head is on my chest in the no-go area, my cheek nestled against the springy hair on his sternum. I am panting, glowing, and I resist the urge to pucker my lips and kiss him. I just lie on top of him, catching my breath. He smooths my hair, and his hands run down my back, caressing me as his breathing calms. You are so beautiful. I lift my head to gaze at him, my expression skeptical. He frowns in response, sits up quickly, taking me by surprise, his arms sweeping around to hold me in place. I clutch his biceps as we are nose to nose. You are beautiful, he says again, his tone emphatic. And you are amazingly sweet sometimes. I kiss him gently. He lifts me and eases out of me. I wince as he does. Leaning forward, he kisses me softly. You have no idea how attractive you are, do you? I flush. Why is he going on like this? All those boys pursuing you? That isn't enough of a clue? Boys? What boys? You want the list? Christian frowns. The photographer? He's crazy about you. That boy in the hardware store? Your roommate's older brother? Your boss? He adds bitterly. Oh, Christian, that's just not true. Trust me. They want you. They want what's mine. He pulls me against him, and I lift my arms to his shoulders, my hands in his hair, regarding him with amusement. Mine, he repeats, his eyes glowing possessively. Yes, yours, I reassure him, smiling. He looks mollified, and I feel perfectly comfortable, naked in his lap, on a bed in the full light of a Saturday afternoon. Who would have thought? The lipstick marks remain on his exquisite body. I note some smears on the duvet cover, though, and I wonder briefly what Mrs. Jones will make of them. The line is still intact, I murmur, and bravely trace the mark on his shoulder with my index finger. He stiffens, blinking suddenly. I want to go exploring. He regards me skeptically. The apartment? No. I was thinking of the treasure map that we have drawn on you. My fingers itch to touch him. His eyebrows lift in surprise, and he blinks with uncertainty. I rub my nose against his. And what would that entail exactly, Miss Steele? I lift my hand from his shoulder and run my fingertips down his face. I just want to touch you everywhere I'm allowed. Christian catches my index finger in his teeth, biting down gently. Ow! I protest, and he grins, a low growl coming from his throat. Okay, he says, releasing my finger, but his voice is laced with apprehension. Wait. He leans behind me, lifting me again, and removes his condom, dropping it unceremoniously on the floor beside the bed. I hate those things. I have a good mind to call Dr. Green around to give you a shot. You think the top OB-GYN in Seattle is going to come running? I can be very persuasive, he murmurs, hooking my hair behind my ear. Franco's done a great job on your hair. I like these layers. What? Stop changing the subject. He shifts me back so I'm straddling him, leaning on his propped-up knees, my feet on either side of his hips. He leans back on his arms. Touch away, he says without humor. He looks nervous, but he's trying to hide it. Keeping my eyes on his, I reach down and trace my finger underneath the lipstick line, across his finely sculptured abdominal muscles. He flinches, and I stop. I don't have to, I whisper. No, it's fine. Just takes time. Readjustment on my part. No one's touched me for a long time, he murmurs. Mrs. Robinson? The words pop unbidden out of my mouth, and amazingly I manage to keep all bitterness and rancor out of my voice. He nods, his discomfort obvious. I don't want to talk about her. It will sour your mood. I can handle it. No, you can't, Anna. You see red whenever I mention her. My past is past. In fact, I can't change it. I'm lucky that you don't have a past, because that would drive me crazy if you did. I frown at him, but I don't want to fight. Drive you crazy? More than you already are? I smile, hoping to lighten the atmosphere between us. His lips twitch. Crazy for you, he whispers. My heart swells with joy. Shall I call Dr. Flynn? I don't think that would be necessary, he says dryly. Shifting back so he drops his legs, I place my fingers back on his stomach and let them drift across his skin. He's still once more. I like touching you. My fingers skate down to his navel, then southward along his happy trail. His lips part as his breathing changes, his eyes darken, and his erection steers and twitches beneath me. Holy cow, round two. Again? I murmur. He smiles. Oh yes, Miss Steele, again. What a delicious way to spend a Saturday afternoon. I stand beneath the shower, absent-mindedly washing myself, careful not to wet my tied-back hair, contemplating the last couple of hours. Christian and Vanilla seem to be going well. He's revealed so much today. It's staggering trying to assimilate all the information and to reflect on what I've learned. His salary details, whoa, he's stinking rich, and for someone so young, it's just extraordinary. And the dossiers he has on me and all his brunette submissives. I wonder if they're all in that filing cabinet. My subconscious purses her lips at me and shakes her head. Don't even go there. I frown. Just a quick peek? And then there's Layla, with a gun, potentially, somewhere, and her crap-tasted music still on his iPod. But even worse, Mrs. Pedo Robinson. I cannot wrap my head around her, and I don't want to. I don't want her to be a shimmering-haired specter in our relationship. He's right. I do go off the deep end when I think of her, and perhaps it's best if I don't. I step out of the shower and dry myself. I'm suddenly seized by unexpected anger. But who wouldn't go off the deep end? What normal, sane person would do that to a 15-year-old boy? How much has she contributed to his fucked upness? I don't understand her. And worse still, he says she helped him. How? I think of the scars, the stark physical embodiment of a horrific childhood, and a sickening reminder of what mental scars he must bear. My sweet, sad 50 Shades. He said such loving things today. He's crazy just for me. Staring at my reflection, I smile the memory of the words, my heart brimming once more, and my face transformed with a ridiculous smile. Perhaps we can make this work. But how long will he want me to do this without wanting to beat the crap out of me? If I cross some arbitrary line. My smile dissolves. This is what I don't know. This is the shadow that hangs over us. Kinky fuckery, yes, I can do that. But more? My subconscious stares at me. For once, offering no snarky words of wisdom. I head back to my bedroom to dress. Christian is downstairs getting ready, doing whatever he's doing, so I have the bedroom to myself, as well as all the dresses in my closet. I have drawers full of new underwear. I select a black bustier corset creation with a price tag of $540. It has silver trim like filigree, and the briefest of panties to match. Thigh-high stockings, too, in a natural color, so fine, pure silk. Wow, they feel slinky, and kinda hot. I'm reaching for the dress when Christian enters unannounced. Whoa! Could you knock? He stands immobilized, staring at me, eyes glimmering, hungrily. I blush crimson everywhere, it feels. He's wearing a white shirt and black suit pants. The neck of his shirt is open. I can see the lipstick line still in place as he's staring at me. Can I help you, Mr. Gray? I assume there's some purpose to your visit other than to gawk mindlessly at me. I am rather enjoying my mindless gawk. Thank you, Mrs. Steele. Miss Steele? He murmurs darkly, stepping further into the room and drinking me in. Remind me to send a personal note of thanks to Caroline Acton. I frown. Who the hell is she? The personal shopper at Neiman's, he says, spookily answering my unspoken question. Oh. I'm quite distracted. I can see that. What do you want, Christian? I give him my no-nonsense stare. He retaliates with his crooked smile and pulls the silver ball things from his pocket, stopping me in my tracks. Holy shit! He wants to spank me now? Why? It's not what you think, he says quickly. Enlighten me, I whisper. I thought you could wear these tonight. And the implications of that sentence hangs between us as the idea sinks in. To this event? I'm shocked. He nods slowly, his eyes darkening. Oh my. Will you spank me later? No. For a moment, I feel a tiny stab of disappointment. He chuckles. You want me to? I swallow. I just don't know. Well, rest assured, I'm not going to touch you like that, not even if you beg me. Oh, this is news. Do you want to play this game? He continues, holding up the balls. You can always take them out if it's too much. I gaze at him. He looks so wicked, tempting, unkempt, recently fucked hair, dark eyes, dancing with erotic thoughts, his lips raised in a sexy, amused smile. Okay, I acquiesce softly. Hell yes, my inner goddess has found her voice and is shouting from the rooftops. Good girl, Christian grins. Come here and I'll put them in you, once you put on your shoes. My shoes? I turn and glance at the dove-gray suede stilettos that match the dress I've chosen to wear. Humor him. He holds out his hand to support me while I step in the Christian Louboutin shoes, a steal at $3,295. I must be at least 5 inches taller now. He leads me to the bedside and doesn't sit, but walks over to the only chair in the room. Picking it up, he carries it over and places it in front of me. When I nod, you bend down and hold on to the chair. Understand? His voice is husky. Yes. Good. Now open your mouth, he orders, his voice still low. I do as I'm told, thinking he's going to put the balls in my mouth to lubricate them. No, he slips his index finger in. Oh, suck, he says. I reach up and clasp his hand, holding him steady, and I do as I'm told. I can be obedient when I want. He tastes of soap. I suck hard, and I'm rewarded when his eyes widen and his lips part as he inhales. I'm not going to need any lubricant at this rate. He puts the balls in my mouth as I fillet his finger, twirling my tongue around it. When he tries to withdraw, I clamp down my teeth. He grins, then shakes his head, admonishing me, so I let go. He nods, and I bend down and grasp the sides of the chair. He moves my panties to one side and very slowly slides a finger into me, circling leisurely, so I feel him on all sides. I can't help the moan that escapes from my lips. He withdraws his finger briefly with tender care, and inserts the balls one at a time, pushing them deep inside me. Once they are in position, he smooths my panties back into place and kisses my backside. Running his hand up each of my legs from ankle to thigh, he gently kisses the top of each thigh, where my thigh ends. You have fine, fine legs, Miss Steele, he murmurs. Standing, he grasps my hips and pulls my behind against him so I feel his erection. Maybe I'll have you this way when we get home, Anastasia. You can stand now. I feel giddy, beyond aroused, as the weight of the balls push and pull inside of me. Leaning down from behind me, Christian kisses my shoulder. I bought these for you to wear last Saturday's gala. He puts his arm around me and holds out his hand. In his palm rests a small red box with Cartier inscribed on the lid. But you left me, so I never had opportunity to give them to you. Oh, this is my second chance, he murmurs, his voice stiff with some unnamed emotion. He's nervous. Tentatively, I reach for the box and open it. Inside shines a pair of drop earrings. Each has 4 diamonds, one at the base, and then a gap, then 3 perfectly spaced diamonds hanging one after the other. They're beautiful, simple, and classic, what I would choose for myself if I were ever given the opportunity to shop at Cartier. They're lovely, I whisper, and because they are my second chance earrings, I love them. Thank you. He relaxes against me, and the tension leaves his body, and he kisses my shoulder again. You're wearing the silver satin dress? He asks. Yes, is that okay? Of course. I'll let you get ready. He heads out the door without a backward glance. I have entered an alternate universe. The young woman staring at me looks worthy of a red carpet. Her strapless, floor-length silver satin gown is simply stunning. Maybe I'll write to Caroline Acton myself. It's fitted and flatters what few curves I have. My hair falls in soft waves around my face, spilling over my shoulders to my breast. I tuck one side behind my ear, revealing my second chance earrings. I have kept my makeup to a minimum, a natural look. Eyeliner, mascara, a little pink blush, and pale pink lipstick. I don't really need the blush. I'm a little flushed from the constant movement of the silver balls. Yes, they'll guarantee I have some color in my cheeks tonight. Shaking my head at the audacity of Christian's erotic ideas, I lean down to collect my satin wrap and silver clutch and purse and go in search of my 50 shades. He's talking to Taylor and 3 other men in the hallway, his back to me. Their surprised, appreciative expressions alert Christian to my presence. He turns as I stand and wait awkwardly. My mouth dries. He looks stunning. Black dinner suit, black bow tie, and his expression as he gazes at me is one of awe. He strolls toward me and kisses my hair. Anastasia, you look breathtaking. I flush at this compliment in front of Taylor and the other men. A glass of champagne before we go? Please, I murmur far too quickly. Christian nods to Taylor, who heads into the foyer with the other 3 cohorts. In the great room, Christian retrieves a bottle of champagne from the fridge. Security team, I ask? Close protection. They're under Taylor's control. He's trained in that too. Christian hands me a champagne flute. He's very versatile. Yes, he is, Christian smiles. You look lovely, Anastasia. Cheers. He raises his glass, and I clink it with mine. The champagne is a pale rose color. It tastes deliciously crisp and light. How are you feeling? He asks, his eyes heated. Fine, thank you. I smile sweetly, giving nothing away, knowing full well he's referring to the silver balls. He smirks. How are you going to... Here, You're going to need this. He hands me a large velvet pouch that is resting on the kitchen island. Open it, he says, between sips of champagne. Intrigued, I reach into the bag and pull out an intricate silver masquerade mask with cobalt blue feathers and a plume crowning the top. It's a masked ball, he states matter-of-factly. I see. The mask is beautiful. The silver ribbon is threaded along the edges, and exquisite silver filigree is etched around the eyes. This will show off your beautiful eyes, Anastasia. I grin at him shyly. Are you wearing one? Of course. They're very liberating in a way, he adds, raising an eyebrow. Oh, this is going to be fun. Come, I want to show you something. Holding out his hand, he leads me out into the hallway to the door beside the stairs. He opens it, revealing a large room, roughly the same size as his playroom, which must be directly above us. This one is filled with books. Wow! A library. Every wall crammed floor to ceiling. In the center is a full-size billiard table, illuminated by a long, triangular prison-shaped Tiffany lamp. You have a library? I squeak in awe, overwhelmed with excitement. Yes, the ballrooms, as Elliot calls it. The apartment is quite spacious. I realized today when you mentioned exploring it that I've never given you a tour. We don't have time now, but I thought I'd show you this room and maybe challenge you to a game of billiards in the not-too-distant future. I grin. Bring it on. I secretly hug myself with glee. Jose and I bonded over pool. We've been playing for the last 3 years. I'm an ace with a Q. Jose has been a good teacher. What? Christian asked, amused. I really must stop expressing every emotion I feel the instant I feel it, I scold myself. Nothing, I say quickly. Christian narrows his eyes. Well, maybe Dr. Flynn can uncover your secrets. You'll meet him this evening. That expensive charlatan? Holy shit. The very same. He's dying to meet you. Christian takes my hand and gently skims his thumb across my knuckles as we sit in the back of the Audi, heading north. I squirm and feel the sensation in my groin. I resist the urge to moan, as Taylor is in the front, not wearing his iPod, with one of the other security guys, whose name I think is Sawyer. I'm beginning to feel a dull, pleasurable ache deep in my belly, caused by the balls. Idly, I wonder how long I'll be able to manage without some relief. I cross my legs. As I do, something that's been gnawing at me in the back of my mind suddenly surfaces. Where did you get the lipstick? I ask Christian quietly. He smirks at me and points toward the front. Taylor, he mouths. I burst out laughing. Oh, and stop quickly. The balls. I bite my lip. Christian smiles at me, his eyes gleaming wickedly. He knows exactly what he's doing. Sexy beast that he is. Relax, he breathes. If it's too much. His voice trails off and he gently kisses each knuckle in turn, and gently sucks the tip of my finger. Now I know he's doing this on purpose. I close my eyes as dark desire unfolds throughout my body. I surrender briefly to the sensation, my muscles clenching deep inside me. When I open my eyes again, Christian is regarding me closely, a dark prince. It must be the dinner jacket and bow tie, but he looks older, sophisticated, a devastatingly handsome man with licentious intent. He simply takes my breath away. I'm in his sexual thrall, and if I'm to believe him, he's in mine. The thought brings a smile to my face, and his answering grin is blinding. So what can we expect at this event? Oh, the usual stuff, Christian says breezily. Not usual for me, I remind him. Christian smiles fondly and kisses my hand again. Lots of people flashing their cash. Auction, raffle, dinner, dancing. My mother knows how to throw a party. He smiles for the first time all day. I allow myself to feel a little excited about this party. There's a line of expensive cars heading up the driveway of the gray mansion. Long, pale, pink paper lanterns hang over the drive, and as we inch closer in the Audi, I can see they are everywhere. In the early evening light, they look magical, as if we're entering an enchanted kingdom. I glance at Christian. How suitable for my prince, and my childish excitement blooms, eclipsing all other feelings. Mask on, Christian grins, and he dons a simple black mask, and my prince becomes something darker, more sensual. All I can see of his face is his beautiful mouth and strong jaw. My heartbeat lurches to the side of him. I fasten my mask and ignore the hunger deep in my body. Taylor pulls into the driveway, and a valet opens Christian's door. Sawyer leaps out to open mine. Ready, Christian asks? As I'll ever be. Okay, Marcela, it has been 24 minutes, and I'm going to pause this right here and upload it to the internet for you. And then I'll continue reading, and I will upload the other one. Okay, and sorry about the phone ringing in the background. I still have a landline. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll keep reading to you soon. Bye.